Why Not Me? Alton Brown shares the secret sauce that turned him from kitchen nobody into a Food Network superstar. Maybe you can do it too. Next, want to have your own show? The man who turned on a TV said, "I can do it better," and became a star. If you watch the Food Network, you know Alton Brown. From making appearances on Iron Chef America to his own shows Good Eats and Feasting on Asphalt, Alton Brown is the network's king of the culinary backstory and spices up a good meal with historical and scientific facts.
The potato immigrated from South America to the Old World and then went right back to America on a boat called the Mayflower.
But perhaps the most amazing thing about this food superstar is that he didn't start off as a chef. He got into the business by watching other cooking shows and saying, "I can do that too."
Alton Brown, one of the superstars of the Food Network. Welcome, sir.
Thanks very much, superstar. That's
Superstar.
good. I like
that.
that. I like that.
As we were doing the intro on the Why Not Me, you were shaking your head because that is the essence. That is what we believe on this show. You got to say to yourself, if you want that dream, and you did it, man. You
roll the dice, big dice, and you roll them.
Big dice, big another word for big something also.
We have to get to the point where, especially like in my case, when my wife and I, who were partners, decided to make this huge change of career, which we did. We were in our 30s, and it was a point of, like if you hold on to anything that you have as being so dear as to not risk it all, then you're already halfway dying.
You're dying. Well, you were a video director.
Yep.
Making a good living.
Swimming in the pool, eating well. Yeah, it was a good living.
But yet, when you weren't working, you found you're cooking. You had this other love.
I had this other love, and I watched a lot of food shows and decided, hey, I can do that better than they're doing that. And the big dice came out. And you know what? I truly believe that the pivotal event is not the success from rolling the dice, but the rolling of the dice themselves. I mean, because you're never more alive is when you're right on that cusp of madness.
Amen.
And you can live a lifetime right there in that little wedge of craziness.
Even if you lose, which is not losing, you already won because you did how much to get everybody going at home. Just at the moment, you said, "Why not me, man? I can do it better than those guys on TV. I'm watching these food shows. They're boring. I got all these ideas." And you say, "Screw it. I'm throwing everything away.
Yep.
I'm going to culinary school. I'm going to roll those dice." Yeah. Even before they came up 7 or 11, you were thrilled and out of your mind. Nuts.
Oh, I'd already won.
Yeah.
Everything, if it works out fine, great. But there's something so tangible in that it's okay to lose, the risking of everything. And I'm not a gambler by nature.
The real gamble would have been to stay being not happy. That's the ultimate gamble if you think about it.
Well, you know what that does? All that says is that I don't believe in myself enough to turn around my own life or to make my own future, to fulfill any kind of potential that I've got. I don't know. What am I going to do? Have kids and teach them that?
Yeah.
No. I rather risk. I rather risk and lose spectacularly than succeed marginally.
When we're putting the show together, we always say, let's crash and burn. Let's fail.
Crash and burn. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
You crash and burn. You try something else.
You're healthy enough to work. You're always going to bounce back. What's the old line that Theodore Roosevelt had about far better to try and fail than be one of the gray men watching to criticize?
That's it. So you now, because for anybody at home right now who's watching who says, there's something else out there for me. There's that whole other thing. So you now, watching the Food Network, watching the food shows, they're boring. I can do it. What do? You go, you know what? Why not me? I can do it.
I can do this better.
What'd you do?
I turned to my wife, who is my production partner, and I said, I can make one of these. And she said, no, you can't because you don't know enough. She was the real visionary. And she said, but you know what? If you'll apply to the 3 top culinary schools in the country and you get accepted to one, we'll go. She said, we'll sell everything, we'll go, but we go together. She said, we're not going to do this breaking apart. You go, and that's what we did. We stuck together. She worked. She put me through culinary school. We went from, nice house, nice cars to living in a 3-story walk-up with, $20,000 a year.
But you were already happier, I bet.
Yeah, well, we were already happy because what's funny? It was like, okay, we're going to go back to college and have that experience that we weren't together for. So it was actually like going back, and being younger in a way again. But you know what? We never, ever, ever, because we made the decision together. We never regretted it, even when it seemed really hard and the dream seemed very far away, because there was something about having just done it together. But it took that, because I wasn't going to get it any other way.
And so you come out of culinary school now. You can't. You say, okay, I'm going to get my own show, and nothing's happening. And you say, you know what? I'm shooting my own pilot. Screw it.
Did it. raise the money, because money's out there. It's just presentation, baby, you know, get the money. Raise the money for the pilots, and we made them, and a year later, we had a deal on Food Network.
Let's talk a clip from Good Eats. This is a man who went for it, said, why not me? I can do it better. And here is Alton Brown doing it better.
Let's just say for a minute that this little 4x4 is your custard. And this little test track we've set up represents all the temperatures it's going to pass through on its way to the sweet spot, the setting point, where liquid becomes ethereal dessert. Now you'll notice that that point is very close to the failure point. That's the curdling temperature where, well, basically all the proteins in the eggs are going to lock up so tight that they'll squeeze out all the moisture. You'll open the oven and find little yellow hockey pucks floating in water. So the whole goal here is to get as close to that temperature as possible while avoiding that one.
Your whole thing is really you kind of do the science of food. You know, obviously it's fun, but you like to kind of really, no pun intended, peel it apart.
I think food's a switchboard, and it can plug into any part of life you want, whether it's pop culture, history, anthropology, physics. Certainly science is a big part of it, and science is the key to unlocking knowledge about what goes on in the kitchen, and that's the power of understanding what's going on to a kitchen, the kind of thing that can change lives. But to me, it's just looking at any subject and finding the story, the depth, the breadth of what can the story tell us and hopefully entertain us.
We're going to change somebody's life tonight, okay? There's somebody at home right now, maybe in their mid-30s, early 40s.
I wish I was.
Late 20s or whatever.
Late 20s.
Kind of making a living, but the dream is not there. They haven't yet said, why not me? I can do it better than that. Go for it. What do we say to that one person right now? How do we change their lives? To get them going.
You just decide. You either do or you don't do. It's Yoda.
There is no try.
No, it is. Yeah. You either do it or you don't do it. Yeah. But it's also a matter of, I think, being able to step outside of yourself and look at what your real skill set is, what your real potential is, because you're about to become a product, and you've got to judge that product correctly and gauge what that product can do.
Alton Brown, congratulations, man.
Thanks.
A man who said, why not me? I can do it better. He is, of course, now one of the stars of the Food Network and creator of the show Good Eats and big-time author. Stay with us.